Hey girl, I'm so glad that you're here. If you're watching this video, you likely have PCOS, which is now known as PMOS, and you want to get pregnant, but you've probably been told that it's going to be damn near impossible to do that on your own. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why that's BS and show you 3 things that you can do today to begin improving your fertility. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jenny. I'm a registered dietitian with 7 years experience in the functional medicine space, helping women with PCOS and fertility struggles. My specialty is helping women understand how they can support their bodies and balance their hormones so that they can get regular periods and get pregnant easier. So let's get into it. If you have PMOS, you've likely been on or at least offered one or all of these treatments. Sound familiar? Birth control, metformin, spironolactone, fertility treatments, or my personal favorite, just lose weight. Yes, weight loss can be really beneficial for women with PMOS. However, the PMOS itself makes it really difficult for women to lose weight, and this is where I find there's a lot of gaslighting coming from doctors. Well, just lose the weight, as if it were that easy. You've probably already tried that, right? The problem with all of these treatments is that they don't address the root cause of PMOS, which stems from metabolic and endocrine dysfunction beneath the surface. Let me explain. So PMOS, through a root cause lens, has 3 main drivers: insulin resistance, gut dysbiosis, which is an imbalance in the good and bad bacteria in the gut, and inflammation and cortisol dysregulation. You can think of these 3 root drivers as 3 buckets that spill into one another. If you have PMOS, you might know that blood sugar is a really big deal for you. This is because 70% of women with PMOS have some degree of insulin resistance. This might even be why your doctor may have recommended metformin for you or other medications that help to control blood sugar. Now, insulin resistance is a problem because it impairs ovary function and increases androgen output by the ovaries, so think testosterone. This will increase your luteinizing hormone, which disrupts ovulation, and also decreases your sensitivity to follicle-stimulating hormone, which impairs the maturation of your follicles for ovulation. So this is why we see that string of pearls on transvaginal ultrasounds in women with PMOS. You can think of it this way. Have you ever rolled up to a 4-way stop and there's 3 other cars there and nobody knows whose turn it is? We all just sit there. That's kind of what it's like with all of these immature follicles. They're all just looking at each other saying, no, you go, no, you go, no, you go, and nobody's going. Ovulation's not happening, and that's why we see long cycles or anovulatory cycles where you're not getting a period at all. It's gone totally missing. So we have to address the insulin resistance, but we also have to ask what's causing the insulin resistance in the first place. Is it poor diet? Is it gut dysbiosis or inflammation? Is it hypothyroidism, which 43% of women with PCOS also have subclinical hypothyroidism? There's a huge overlap with PMOS and hypothyroidism. Is it adrenal dysfunction? Is it depleted minerals? Lots of root causes worth exploring here. Women with PMOS are more likely to have gut dysbiosis and lower digestive capacity. Low stomach acid and enzyme levels are a problem because they will lead to poor nutrient absorption, which is going to impact insulin resistance, inflammation, so many different things. It's going to feed bad bacteria in the gut and lead to that dysbiosis, inflammation, and elevated cortisol output from the adrenals. Now, contributors to low stomach acid are high androgens and insulin resistance, which we just talked about, sluggish thyroid, which we know that 43% of women with PMOS have, and metformin, which is a common blood sugar medication that women with PMOS are prescribed. Now we get into the adrenal and cortisol aspect of PMOS. High cortisol increases inflammation, raises blood sugar, and in turn lowers progesterone. Cortisol is a stress hormone that's produced by the adrenals in response to stress, inflammation, which can stem from gut infections or dysbiosis. So this is a prime example of how these buckets spill into one another. Illness, low blood sugar, and light exposure, both natural and artificial light. The thing is that we need cortisol. Cortisol has a very strong purpose in our body. The problem is that when the cortisol is produced at inappropriate times and in excess amounts. So here are your 3 action steps. These are the action steps that help my clients improve cycle regularity and fertility in as little as 4 weeks. Step number 1, balance that blood sugar. You're going to aim for 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal, balanced with healthy fats and carbohydrates. It's ideal if you can try to keep your net carbs for the day equal to or less than your total protein for the day. So the way that we're going to calculate net carbs is your total carbs minus fiber. So let's say that your meal has 45 grams of total carb, 35 grams of protein, and 10 grams of fiber. To get the net carbs, we're just going to take 45 minus 10 grams of fiber to get you 35 grams of net carbs, which will be equal to that 35 grams of protein at your meal. And that is perfect for blood sugar control with PMOS. I also want you to eat your protein-rich foods first at your meals because that's going to help buffer how quickly those carbohydrates enter your bloodstream. Step 2 is support your gut microbiome. I want you to practice this 1-2-1 method. 1 serving of probiotics per day, 2 servings of prebiotics per day, and 1 serving of resistant starch per day. Probiotics are going to come in the form of kombucha, yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, miso, tempeh, and cottage cheese. Prebiotics are leafy greens, onions, garlic, banana, berries, honey, flaxseed, leeks, legumes, and oats. And resistant starches are going to come from legumes, beans, chickpeas, lentils, peas, green bananas and plantains, and cooked and cooled potatoes and cooked and cooled rice. For the rice and potatoes, it's in the cooling process that these foods develop more of that resistant starch, which is literally just a starch that resists digestion and feeds the good gut bacteria. I also want you to support your digestion by chewing your food to applesauce consistency and taking 3 big deep breaths before you eat to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest nervous system. And that's going to prime your digestive tract for the food that's about to come in so that you can digest your food better. Step number 3 is calibrate your circadian rhythm. Now, there are so many things that you can do to support your adrenals, and this is just one of them, but it's a simple thing. And not only is it going to help balance your cortisol levels, but healthy light exposure is just as important, if not more, than diet for supporting insulin sensitivity. So I want you to aim for at least 2 to 3 minutes of raw, unfiltered sunlight upon waking. So as soon as you get your butt out of bed, get sunlight in your eyeballs. And then I want you to take little sunlight breaks throughout the day, even just for 30 seconds, to remind your body that it is daytime. And then you're going to avoid blue and green lights at nighttime. So I want you to dim the lights in your home, turn off those big overhead lights, and just turn on the ambient lighting. And if you can't avoid screens at nighttime, I want you to wear blue light blocking glasses. And I'm not talking about the cute ones that you get on Amazon or Target with the cute frames. I want you to get the ones that have the red or orange lenses, which are really going to block out that blue light. My client Lizzie went from a PMOS diagnosis to pregnant in 4 months by doing these things. She'd been trying to conceive for 6 months with no success, and her cycles were all over the place, averaging around 45 days. She had no idea when she was ovulating or if she was ovulating, and that was making it really, really difficult to get pregnant. So she came to me and we did some deeper digging. We ran some labs which showed that she had low stomach acid and not digesting her food properly. She had depleted mineral levels. She had insulin resistance and elevated testosterone. And using these labs, her doctor was able to quickly diagnose her with PMOS so that we could take quick action. Based on her labs, we were able to give detailed attention to the things that were driving her infertility in the first place. Balancing her blood sugars through diet and targeted supplements, supporting digestion with a big focus on bile flow and enzyme function, since her stool test was showing that her enzyme output was low and she had fat in her stool, which means that bile was not working properly to digest her fat. We focused on mineral replenishment, which is going to help so many different things. They're like spark plugs for our cells, and they play a big role in insulin sensitivity. And we worked on restoring ovulation and promoting egg quality. Each month that we worked together, her cycles got shorter, stronger, and more predictable. And after just 4 months of this targeted support, I got this message from her. Thing is, Lizzie's not an outlier. She didn't just get lucky. We got super strategic with her plan. My fertility clients have a 78% success rate, oftentimes conceiving in about 4 months from starting their customized plan. I've worked with dozens of women that struggled with infertility, and we've gotten them their big fat positives. If this is the type of support that you're looking for and you want to be next, you can apply for one-on-one root cause fertility support at the QR code below or at jennymahoneyrdn.com/coaching. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to chat. You can shoot me a DM over on Instagram. And I hope this was helpful. And if you're looking for ways to dig deeper and uncover the root causes of your fertility so that you can get pregnant easier, I would be so honored to support you inside one-on-one coaching.